is the last straw.
What is it, Elizabeth?
This article in the newspaper. It's disgraceful.
Certainly upsetting you.
It's called What Girls Are Good For, and it's written by the editor. Do you know what he has the nerve to say?
Tell me about it. Calmly.
He writes here that women should not go out and get jobs because they don't do things as well as men, and that a woman's only place is in the home.
That's what we were taught when I was a girl.
Mother, times are changing. Women can do a lot of jobs in this world just as well as men, and better if only they had the chance.
I'm sure you're right, Elizabeth.
I'm going to tell him a thing or two.
You are?
I'm going to write to the editor and tell him just how wrong he is about women.
17-year-old Elizabeth Cochran wrote her letter and sent it on its way. However, she did not sign it. George Madden, the editor of the newspaper, thought that the letter had a good point of view and that the writing was excellent.
Herbie!
Yes, Mr. Madden.
Take this advertisement down to the press room. It's for tomorrow's paper, huh?
Hey, you tell Mike I want that on the front page and that he's to keep running it until I tell him to stop, huh?
Yes, sir. Miss Anonymous? That's a funny name. Who's Miss Anonymous?
She's a mystery lady with no name. That's what anonymous means, Herbie. It's probably an old fuddy-duddy spinster with gray hair and a squeaky voice. Seems to write well from what I can see, and I'd like to give her a try if we can find her. Come on!
Now, Madden felt sure that he had the makings of a terrific article in the case of his spinster mystery writer. You see, in those days, any mention of women being just as good as men usually started an argument. And arguments were good for selling papers. Well, Elizabeth saw the front page advertisement and by letter replied, this time under her own name. Then, by further correspondence, Madden asked her to try her hand at an article on the subject of women's rights. She promptly wrote one and sent it in. He liked it, paid her for it, and printed it. Then, still by letter, he invited her to visit him to discuss more writing assignments.
Mr. Madden?
Huh?
Miss Cochran's here to see you.
Miss Cochran.
Miss Anonymous?
Oh, yeah, that Miss Cochran. Yeah, show her in, Herbie. Herbie! Now, Miss Cochran. You are Miss Cochran?
Elizabeth Cochran, sir.
Yeah, somehow I thought you'd be older.
Does my age make any difference if what I write is good?
Well, I guess I can't argue with that. Sit down.
They sat and talked for a while. Madden liked Elizabeth's ideas and decided to hire her. But there was one thing he didn't like.
No, I don't think Elizabeth Cochran is a very good name for a reporter. You know, it's too long. We should find another name for you. Herbie!
Well, it's the only name I have, except for Pinky.
Pinky?
Well, yes, that's what they call me at home, because my favorite color's pink.
No, I don't think Pinky Cochran would be too much better. Hey, Herbie! Now, we've got to find a name
Sorry,
for you.
Mr. Madden, I was emptying the wastebasket.
These are the editorials for tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Herbie.
Sir?
That song you're whistling, that's,
Nellie Bly, by Stephen Foster.
Yeah. Nellie Bly. Sure, that's it. Nellie Bly. How do you like that, Elizabeth? I mean, Nellie?
The new Nellie Bly went to work at once, writing about the dreadful working conditions in the Pittsburgh factories. She disguised herself as a poor immigrant girl and went to work in one of the factories. It was rough and risky, but it was the way she did things. She investigated slum tenements where landlords made fortunes from horrible old fire traps. The people of Pittsburgh enjoyed Nellie's stories. Everyone, that is, except the factory owners and the landlords. Many of them were advertisers in Madden's newspaper, and soon, because of Nellie's stories, they simply stopped advertising. This, of course, was very upsetting to Madden.
I'm all for you, Nellie. But the Dispatch must have advertisers. It's where most of our money comes from. If we don't make money, we can't publish the paper. Say, look, I'm taking you off these investigation stories and making you the newspaper's society editor, huh?
As society editor, Nellie spent most of her time writing about weddings, concerts, and ladies' fashions. Now, to her, that was all very dull. So she quit the Pittsburgh Dispatch and, with her patient little mother following along behind, took off for Mexico. They traveled all over Mexico, and Nellie made notes about everything they saw, and along the way wrote stories about the Mexican people, their food, their customs, and the Mexican countryside. The stories were sent back to the Dispatch and printed for the people of Pittsburgh to read. Well, after 6 months, Nellie and her mother returned to Pittsburgh. But Nellie was restless. Having had a taste of travel and adventure, she longed for more.
Mama, I'm going to New York.
New York? Oh, what in heavens will you do there?
Well, I'll write, of course.
But you can write in Pittsburgh. Mr. Madden will take you back today if you just ask him.
No, it's not the same. I'll get a job on a big newspaper. Oh, besides, I can make a lot more money in New York. Mama, just think of all the stories I could write in America's biggest city.
Nellie headed for New York, hoping to land a job on one of New York's top newspapers called The World. A man named Joseph Pulitzer owned the paper. He had come to America as a poor immigrant himself and had worked hard and made a fortune in the newspaper business.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'd like to see Mr. Pulitzer, please.
Mr. Pulitzer? He's busy. If you want to see him, you must write a letter and make an appointment.
Nellie wrote several letters. None were answered. Soon, most of her money was gone. Now, if she didn't get a job quickly, she'd have to return to Pittsburgh. She decided to make one last attempt to see Pulitzer. So she went back to his office. Just as she reached the secretary's desk, a fire alarm sounded. As the secretary rushed to the window to watch the fire wagon go by, Nellie ran to Pulitzer's office, opened the door, and stepped inside. Well, Pulitzer was sitting behind a big desk. Another man, Colonel John Cockrell, the managing editor of The World, was seated nearby. Well, for a while it looked pretty bad for Nellie. But with her friendly manner and her winning smile, she finally convinced the two men to at least listen to her.
I'm very good at investigations and exposing people. Well, I could pretend to be a salesgirl, a servant, or even a nurse. What do you say I go to Blackwell's Island to find out just how things are over there?
Now, this suggestion really interested Pulitzer. Because, you see, New York City's hospital for the poor who were mentally ill, located on Blackwell's Island in New York's East River, had been the target of wild rumors. It was said that patients were treated cruelly and fed terrible food, and that some of them were not even mentally ill, but were there only because they were old and poor and their families wanted to get rid of them.
But we've run a story on that already.
Oh, I know, but that was just a plain ordinary story. The reporter went as a reporter. My idea is different. I would go as an inmate.
One woman, by herself? You couldn't work it.
Oh, I know I could. I'm a good actress.
Cockrell, I believe her. Let's give her a try.
Nellie did manage to act her way into the hospital on Blackwell's Island, where she proved all the rumors to be true. And after Nellie's story was printed, New York City started spending millions of dollars more for the care of the mentally handicapped. Nellie went on many exciting assignments as a reporter for The World, pretending in most cases to be someone else. As an immigrant girl, she uncovered the dishonesty of employment agents who were cheating young immigrant workers. She had herself arrested on purpose and spent a night in prison, then wrote about the filthy conditions of the prison. Once she pretended to be a silly, rich young woman in search of a husband and visited a matrimonial agency, then wrote a funny story about her experiences as a husband hunter. Though she wasn't much of a dancer, she went to a theater and applied for a job as a chorus girl and was immediately hired.